bringing under the spotlight the development efforts in our country by the government, the private sector, and our international partners. With our moral obligations and civil responsibilities for the socio-economic and political future of our country. Make an appointment with the discussion this and every Wednesday at 8:30 to 9:15 p.m. with a repeat on Saturday from 8:30 to 9:15 p.m. Be a part of the Dave Garnett Show, a vision for the future.
Monrovia is the capital city of Liberia. It is a vibrant city with lots of potential for doing business. There are many challenges along with great opportunities, but we stand tall and need everyone involved in keeping the city clean, green, and safe for all of its inhabitants, regardless of their demographics. I am Clara Doe Umfogo, the Mayor of the City of Monrovia. Together with my dedicated staff at the Monrovia City Corporation, we are striving to maintain a clean, green, and safe Monrovia. Please come on board and join me and my dedicated staff at the Monrovia City Corporation in transforming Monrovia into a clean, green, and safe city while promoting economic growth and good governance. Thank you.
Monrovia, clean, green, and safe.
The Dave Garnett Show is sponsored by the National Social Security and Welfare Corporation, NASCORP. NASCORP is revolutionizing the Liberian Social Security Program. Under its employment, injury, and national pension schemes, NASCORP fulfills the following benefits: temporary and permanent disablement benefits, constant attendance allowance, death benefit, funeral grant, medical benefits, retirement pension, invalidity pension, retirement grant, survivors grant, and refund. NASCORP gives back to the community through its corporate social responsibility program to identify with national agenda and priorities such as adult literacy and primary education, safe drinking water, sanitation, national emergencies, health, higher education, economic empowerment, and agriculture and housing. NASCORP touches the life of everyone.
Let's Marvin Gaye and get it on. You got the healing that I want, just like they say in the song, Silver Dawn. Let's Marvin Gaye and get it on. We got this king size to ourselves, don't have to share with no one else. Don't keep your secrets to yourself. Kama Sutra show and tell. Yeah. Whoa. There's loving in your eyes that pulls me closer. It's so subtle, I'm in trouble, but I love to be in trouble with you. Let's Marvin Gaye and get it on. You got the healing that I want, just like they say.
bringing under the spotlight the development efforts in our country by the government, the private sector, and our international partners. With our moral obligations and civil responsibilities for the socio-economic and political future of our country. Make an appointment with the discussion this and every Wednesday at 8:30 to 9:15 p.m. with a repeat on Saturday from 8:30 to 9:15 p.m. Be a part of the Dave Garnett Show, a vision for the future.
Hi, and welcome to the Dave Garnett Show. The show is designed to create awareness and enlighten the Liberian population about development efforts in the country today by the government, private sector, and our international partners. We believe that as citizens of Liberia, we have a moral obligation and a civil responsibility to contribute meaningfully towards the overall development of our country. The show also provides a forum where we can share ideas and discuss opinions on the social, economic, and political future of our common patrimony, culminating into a collective vision for the future. The theme of the Dave Garnett Show is a vision for the future. And today we are pleased to welcome Her Excellency Honorable Olubanke King Akerele, former Minister of Commerce and former Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Liberia. Welcome to the show, Madam.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure having you back on the show.
Thank you.
Let's continue. Tell me about this third book, Growing Africa's Emergent Leadership.
Thank you. Now, that book actually brings to bear the larger experience that I've had within the international system with a focus on what I call the next generation of leadership. My passion and what I'm devoting the rest of my life to is this subject of Africa's emergent leadership. Emergent means those who may not be quite there yet, but they are our future leadership. I call it emergent. They're en route, but they are not quite there yet. Having said that, the concept of growing is development and promotion. That is the concept of growing. There is a tendency for people to think you can just come out of university and be a leader. You cannot. And while you're in university, you may be doing local university politics, but that is preparing you. You are not there yet. So the concept of growing Africa's emergent leadership, we took Africans in the diaspora, Africans on the ground in different countries. Who were the diaspora Africa? The diaspora Africa were from Africans in Colombia, in Brazil, in the islands, Jamaica, and all of that. Those are the larger diaspora. And then Africans of the diaspora, maybe in the U.S. and on the continent itself. And what happened, these people were asked to fill up a profile on their motivation, where they are, what are the challenges facing them as Africans in terms of developing Africa. So it is that profile that is then reflected in this book, The Growing of Africa's Emergent Leadership. And out of that came some very, very exciting issues of the challenges facing us on the continent. They're all the same. What are those challenges? Those challenges identified by these young people. Challenges returning home from the diaspora, business, health, business opportunities, health, governance, peace and conflict resolution. These are some of the major challenges all of them are facing. So that comes out in the book. But another very exciting aspect of the book is that we identify many exciting things that are happening on the continent in different countries. And saying how indeed we can move this forward. Because where I'm headed is I think we have to think about a 21st century Pan-Africanism. 21st century Pan-Africanism. The Pan-Africanism of the past brought us to independence, brought our countries and all of that. But we have lost that dynamism.
And the marriage to democracy. You know, for a long time we've had leaders in Africa who refuse to give up power. They want to continue leading their country until they die, maybe become automatic leaders for life. I think that is changing too, because, you know, if you're going to practice democracy, and democracy says you're only entitled to 2 terms, why force the issue? Why go for a 3rd or 4th or a 5th term? You know, give someone else a chance who may have better ideas to move the country forward. I think marrying that with the democracy, if democracy is the model that we want to copy, will be part of this leadership, you know, phenomenon.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good governance and all. And that's why it is critical to grow and develop leadership.
Okay.
So that all of these dimensions come to bear and one realizes what is the substance of leadership. Leadership is not staying there till you die. Of course, we understand that there will be some of our very older, elderly politicians who can only see it that way, and because they're near the end, they're going to stay there. But at the same time, there's a cost. Look at what happened in Burkina Faso. Absolutely unnecessary. Burkina Faso, they had to run him out. Look at Gambia. Look at Gambia. We have to stop this. So this is why the issue of leadership. Yeah, but as I told you,
Zimbabwe.
I have nothing to say. That's another ball game. Okay. I am not going there.
All right.
I am not going there.
That brings us to the 4th book, Madam Minister. The 4th book, The Liberian Way, Breaking the Cycle, the Growing of Liberia Emergent Leadership. Let's talk about this book. What inspired this?
Okay. First of all, the growing of Africa's emergent leadership is meant to be domesticated in each country.
Okay.
So that the growing of Africa's emergent leadership, you see it in the map of Africa.
Okay.
Now, each country has to take their map. You see the Liberian one.
Right.
The Liberian map of Africa, of Liberia, and then you put the young professionals in it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what inspired this again is the concern about what I call the future of the continent and the future of our country, Liberia. I am a passionate nationalist, very, very strong patriot, okay, and very concerned about what is the legacy of this, our generation, for the next. I am not talking about the president's legacy.
Before you go any further, this book, I recall, was launched at the University of Liberia campus at the Ruth Morgenthau Reading Room at the Louis Arthur Grimes School of Law. I remember very well because I was an MC at this program with the Vice President being present and other dignitaries. But let's just talk briefly on Ruth Morgenthau.
Yes, thank you very much. And this is very important. Ruth Morgenthau was my professor of political science with a focus on Africa at Brandeis University, where I did my undergraduate studies.
In Massachusetts?
In Massachusetts, yes, just outside Boston, Waltham, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Ruth Morgenthau is a prolific Africanist in terms of political science in French Africa.
Okay.
Okay. She was a mentor for me. And when she died a few years ago. Her husband contacted me, the famous Morgenthau family. Okay, that's where she is coming from. Okay. Husband contacted me and said, look, my wife is dead. I have her extraordinary library, and I cannot think of anyone she would like to give it to than to you. At the time, I was Minister of Foreign Affairs. Okay. So I had 2 options. I said, do I give this library to the Minister of Foreign Affairs library or to the university? I decided to donate it to the university. I was able to get an extraordinary support from our then ambassador in Washington, D.C., Ambassador Charles Minor, to make arrangements with the Morgenthau family and others to try to ship these books to Liberia, and it was extraordinary, and I want to thank Ambassador Minor for this. I want to thank the University of Liberia
David
for
Jala was
accepting.
then at the
Yes,
law
he was
school.
at the law school, but Emmett Dennis and all of them,
Okay.
they received this concept very well, and they said, okay, we will be prepared to set up this. So we set up a reading room with all her things, and we basically dedicated that reading room in November when we launched the book at the same time. So David Jala and the current law school dean and Ambassador Minor.
Baliwana.
Yes, okay, the president of the university, all there.
Okay.
So we set up this reading room is there, and the Morgenthors have promised and committed to provide some computers and whatnot for that. So it's as a tribute to her.
Ruth
That
Morgenthau.
Ruth Morgenthau, the Ruth Morgenthau reading room, dedicated at the law school. Why at the law school? Well, why at the law school? Many of you may not know, but I was studying law.
Yes,
At
I
one
heard
point.
about that. Okay.
While I was at the Ministry of Planning and Economic Affairs, I did 2 years of the law school evening program when I was assigned to the Social Security program. Every time there was an issue and an accident in the international expert, he went into law. So I said, I've got to go study this. So I did the first year of the law school, and then I joined the UN. I didn't finish my study
But maybe you
of
can
law.
go back and finish this program,
No,
get
no.
some credit, and then just do 1 or 2 more years.
I don't need to be a lawyer. You've got enough here.
You're watching the Dave Garnett Show. You're listening to the Dave Garnett Show. Our guest today is Her Excellency Honorable Olubanke King Akerele, former Minister of Commerce and former Minister of Foreign Affairs, Republic of Liberia. After we take our break, we'll come back and talk about her 5th book, The Liberian Way, Breaking the Cycle, the growing of Liberia emergent leadership, and we'll also talk about what she plans to do, the practical ways of moving forward. Don't go away, and please don't turn that dial. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Monrovia is the capital city of Liberia. It is a vibrant city with lots of potential for doing business. There are many challenges along with great opportunities, but we stand tall and need everyone involved in keeping the city clean, green, and safe for all of its inhabitants, regardless of their demographics. I am Clara Doe Umfogo, the Mayor of the City of Monrovia. Together with my dedicated staff at the Monrovia City Corporation, we are striving to maintain a clean, green, and safe Monrovia. Please come on board and join me and my dedicated staff at the Monrovia City Corporation in transforming Monrovia into a clean, green, and safe city while promoting economic growth and good governance. Thank you.
Monrovia, clean, green, and safe.
The Dave Garnett Show is sponsored by the National Social Security and Welfare Corporation, NASCORP. NASCORP is revolutionizing the Liberian Social Security program. Under its employment, injury, and national pension schemes, NASCORP fulfills the following benefits: temporary and permanent disablement benefits, constant attendance allowance, death benefit, funeral grant, medical benefits, retirement pension, invalidity pension, retirement grant, survivors grant and refund. NASCORP gives back to the community through its corporate social responsibility program to identify with national agenda and priorities such as adult literacy and primary education, safe drinking water, sanitation, national emergencies, health, higher education, economic empowerment, and agriculture and housing. NASCORP touches the life of everyone.
Let's Marvin Gaye and get it on. You got the healing that I want, just like they say in the song, Silver Dawn. Let's Marvin Gaye and get it on. We got this king size to ourselves, don't have to share with no one else. Don't keep your secrets to yourself. Kama Sutra show and tell. Yeah. Whoa. There's loving in your eyes that pulls me closer. It's so subtle, I'm in trouble, but I love to be in trouble with you. Let's Marvin Gaye and get it on. You got the healing that I want, just like they say in the song, Silver Dawn. Let's Marvin Gaye and get it on. You got to give it up to me. I'm screaming mercy, mercy, please. Just like they say in the song, Silver Dawn. Let's Marvin Gaye and get it on. And when you leave me all alone, I'm like a stray without a home.
Ebola, go away from this land. Ebola, get away from Africa. You are evil and very wicked. God will give you Kayam Pepe. Ebola.
Bringing under the spotlight the development efforts in our country by the government, the private sector, and our international partners. With our moral obligations and civil responsibilities for the socio-economic and political future of our country. Make an appointment with the discussion this and every Wednesday at 8:30 to 9:15 p.m. with a repeat on Saturday from 8:30 to 9:15 p.m. Be a part of the Dave Garnett Show, a vision for the future.
Hi, and welcome back to the Dave Garnett Show. We're excited today to have in studio with us Her Excellency Honorable Olubanke King Akerele, our former foreign minister and our former Minister of Commerce of the Republic of Liberia. And we're talking about her fourth book that she's written. She's writing her story. She's writing the Liberian story in the Liberian way for the Liberian people and for the people in the diaspora to know about what is happening in Liberia. The Liberian way, breaking the cycle, the growing of Liberia emergent leadership. What is the Liberian way, madam?
The Liberian way, as defined by so many of our own people, is concerned with substandard, being ready to destroy each other, talking badly about each other, not giving credit to our people, and always looking for not the good, but the bad, the negative, pushing the negative, pushing the negative. You don't even know XYZ, but you destroy it. And I'll give you a couple of concrete examples.
Please.
And the book documents it by hearing the words of our own young